All right, everybody, welcome to the NOA Kembo channel. We're going to do another KART profile interview today. And today we got a really special one to do today. We got one of the many community leaders out there. There's a lot I could say, but I think really the main introduction is he's one of the main people that have gotten a lot of us versus people together as kind of the start of a lot of things that kind of came together here in the last like 3 years or so. Um, so he can tell you the rest. I will be interviewing Brian Wellin, but we all know him and we'll be referring to him as Gumby for the rest of this interview. All right, so what would you like to say as far as kind of introduction and who you are and kind of the importance of your contribution to all this?
I started out my young video gaming with the Nintendo 64. That came out when I was 10 years old, so I kind of hunkered down on all those video games, and Mario Kart 64 happened to be the one that I ended up embracing the most and having most of my multiplayer wonderful, happy celebrations and struggles and hate with family members and friends. And as we all know, it was the
Oh yeah.
beginning of all that. And Mario Kart 64 in particular is an emotional roller coaster. And kind of a one-trick pony as far as video gaming goes. I can probably get good at any game, but I don't have much time. But I hunker down on Mario Kart 64. I spend all my time on that, but I do have time. And yeah, my brother Martine, him and I have been playing since we were kids and continued to play semi-regularly. I mean, there was years where we weren't in the same state and we didn't play, but I always knew I was one of the best players just around. I could never find anybody better than me, and I know all of us in the community know that exact feeling because we are all those people until you come together with all those guys, and then you realize you can get humbled pretty quick. But yeah, would you like me to go into how we all came together online, or you want to ask me questions? How do you want me to
I'm gonna ask
proceed?
I'm gonna ask you some prequels first. Okay, so did you play Super Mario Kart before playing Mario Kart 64?
I did not. I somehow completely, this is going to sound crazy, completely missed Super Nintendo in general. I don't think I owned a Super Nintendo until after I owned a Nintendo 64. So I owned a
That
Nintendo, played all those games, had all the fun there, but completely bypassed Super Nintendo.
It's actually kind of funny because I did the same, and the reason being is that when the Super Nintendo came out, my dad lost his job and our income was very limited, so I wasn't going to ask them for a $200 system for Christmas when we're having money issues. I mean, we weren't like
Right.
poor or anything, but we were down to one income. My dad had to do some other things like sell cars or manage like rentals or whatever. He had to do some stuff that's kind of out of the box for a while, and he had to sell the place that we were at and had to luckily he had a lot of equity and house values went up like crazy, so he's able to pay cash and own a place. So,
Right on.
he still and yeah, he's also had to have a quadruple bypass. That's something I talked about before we did our interview. But he had his 5 years later. And he had his after having a heart attack. So I was able to do it before that. So okay, so let's see. What else do I want to ask? Okay, so you talked about NES, so you did play the NES. Any highlights on the NES era for yourself?
Yeah, man, I absolutely fell in love with the sports games like Tecmo Bowl, Blades of Steel, Double Dribble. All those games were
Yeah.
100% my jam.
Oh yeah. Any RC Pro Am?
No, I did a little bit, but I never experienced it enough to like know much about it or get super good or anything like that. I have played it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say that that was almost like the prequel to doing any of the cards. That's kind of the thing I go back to where And I did play that one for quite, and I actually got fairly good at it. It was actually kind of cool to see someone actually play it, do a completion thing on it. I actually did more of a continuous thing on it. It was just how long can I go without like finishing fourth place, for instance. And there was a time where
Oh,
I had like trophies stacked up. It was crazy. But all right, moving forward though. Okay, so that, and then yeah, um, obviously I because I played Super Mario Kart with my friend Tyler, um, and I found out about Mario Kart 64 coming out. I wanted to be like there for day one, and so I was. But back then, my online access was in the college library while my friend was going to college, and then I would just do that until he was ready, and then we'd go, watch movies or whatever after he's done with his classes. So that was my extent of being online. It wasn't really till April of '97 I sent an email out and kind of made myself known. But talk about how you made yourself known online as far as playing this game.
well, so I I'll kind of give you a little more context. So I played video games pretty good, sports games. I was playing back in 2009. I got really good at Tiger Woods '09 to the point where I was ranked 1086th in the world. Then I realized, man, I need a job. So I was in between jobs at the time, playing too many damn video games, and I quit. And I hadn't played video games. I kind of just quit playing video games. And then I used to play NBA Live '09 as well, and I was super good at that. Martine could tell you that I could put it on superstar mode and beat the computer by like 60 points. And I quit playing games all the way until COVID started. And COVID started, and a lot of things you couldn't do. You couldn't go outside. You couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't do anything. So I invested in video game systems again, particularly the PS4. So I bought a bunch of PS4s, one for each room, my living room, and my kids' room, and bought a bunch of games, and I actually started flipping them to make money, and I made pretty good cash on them because I drove 75 miles one way to work, and going through Portland metro area, I was able to find like the best deals. It would take me like 10 minutes off the beaten path and find an incredible deal and clean up systems, keep games, and I built my collection of PS4 games. I have over 200 PS4 games, all different, because I would get these bundles and I would keep every game that I didn't own, and then I would resell my duplicates. And so I started playing a little bit like the Batman games. I started playing The Last of Us, Days Gone. I started getting into the zombie apocalypse games. It was something I had never done before. Any kind of, like, again, I've always been like a sports type person, sports games and racing games. So did that, and then my cousin. So okay, in between this time, Martine, he would come over to my house and watch UFC fights every pay-per-view event. So like once a month, he would come over. We would watch UFC fights. After the fights, we'd bust out the Nintendo 64 and we'd play Mario Kart for like hours. I mean, sometimes all night, to the point where my wife would be waking up in the morning, griping at me for still being awake, playing video games with my brother. But she is actually a wonderful wife, and especially in this aspect because she understands the bond that my brother and I have and how we can just spend time together. She appreciates it. She thinks it's cool. So it's pretty cool to have a supportive wife when it comes to being a gamer. I find it hard to call myself a gamer because I don't think I am, because I'm not that entrenched in it. But one day my little cousin sent me he called me, and you probably met him maybe online now. Do you know who Boog is? He hangs out with Marty sometimes. His name's Patrick, but he goes by Boog.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I've hung out with Patrick a couple times. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay, Lil Pat. Yeah, so that's my cousin, and so he hits me up, and he's like, "Dude, there's Mario Kart 64 is going to be able to be played online on the Nintendo Switch." And I swear to you, I did not even know what a Nintendo Switch looked like. I didn't even have any idea. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? the concept made me feel so old because like I was like, how the fuck can you play a Mario Kart 64 retro game online? It just didn't make sense to me. It just did not compute. Then he sent me the damn link that Nintendo, kind of advertising their Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. And I immediately was like, oh, hell yeah. And I went out and I bought a Nintendo Switch and I was ready to go I think I got it like a few days after launch. I ended up buying the expansion pack. And lo and behold, here it is. I started playing online with Martine, but trying to find people is difficult when there's no lobby.
Yeah.
So I would go online now and I realized I didn't even know there was it's going to sound so naive and dumb. I didn't even know there was like a Mario Kart 64 community. I had no idea there was a connect route page. I had no idea, nothing. And I felt like I missed out on all these years on this game and behind the scenes even more so. And I was like, how in the hell is that? So I didn't know any of the tricks. I didn't know any of the lines that people took that optimized these tracks. I didn't know any of that. I knew I was still damn good at the game. And so I found somehow, I can't remember correct, maybe it was on Facebook or something, but I somehow found Bobby. I believe Bobby was the first person we found. Yeah, it was Bobby. And
That's
Yo.
Because him and I go way back. We're talking like probably to Super Circuit days. He was, I first.
Yeah, I remember him being a kid, like a young kid, and sending you like messages or emails or something, if I remember correct.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I didn't know. So we have Bobby, and then they have on the Nintendo Switch, they had the voice chat. So I would sit there and with people in game with me, maybe I swap friend codes online, and then I would hit the voice chat, and it sends them a notification to be in the chat, and they wouldn't join. So then I'd keep exiting and entering. So it kept replaying the notification on their screen, hoping that they would join the voice chat. And Bobby joins the voice chat. And I remember Martine was in my house with me at the time, and I got Bobby. Martine's across the room, and I'm in my dining room. Martine's in my living room. And I got Bobby on voice chat, and I'm like super excited right now. Like, this is cool. Holy crap. It's literally my first online experience since 2009 with somebody, right? And I remember trying to be, very proper and not my toxic self, I guess. And so like Martine was in the background cussing, doing his thing, and I was like, oh, don't mind, that's my brother, don't mind him. I was just trying to not scare Bobby off. I was like, please, Bobby, don't leave. And next thing you know, we're playing regularly with each other, and then we somehow, again, I wish I could remember these things, but and they might, but Bobby might. And then we got Jesse K, Space Cowboy. We got him in the rounds with us in the voice chat, and we were playing 4 players online regularly, and we were kicking the dog shit out of Bobby and Jesse. As a matter of fact, Bobby was kicking the shit out of Jesse even. So it was crazy to see, you to see the progress of people. Oh my God, such a short amount of time. So anyway, it got to a point where I ended up moving to Missouri, and Martine just kept bothering me all the time to, hey, see if Bobby and Jesse want to play. See if Bobby and Jesse want to play. And I'm like, dude, you see if Bobby and Jesse want to play. And I used to have to hit them up on Facebook to see if they wanted to play, because Martine wanted to play. Hey, Martine wants to play. I can't play right now, but do you guys want to play with Martine? And it was so annoying to me. And I remember just laying there. I'm like, how the hell can I get Martine to like connect with them, or just in general? It's gonna grow with my friends. How can I get my friends together? So I was like, I'm gonna create a Discord. I didn't even really know what Discord was, or at least I didn't know how to use it. I knew kind of it was a video gaming platform. Is kind of what I knew it was. So I ended up creating the Discord and just putting the people I knew immediately in there. And then here you go. Now here's your hub for connecting with each other and creating these matches. And then ultimately, I started going online, finding all these Nintendo 64 groups on Facebook and Nintendo Switch groups. And I tried to do the whole nice guy routine with, hey, just looking for some people to play Mario Kart 64 with. Here's my friend code. No hits. I'm no hits, no hits, no hits, no matter what. It was like maybe one person would say they would and they wouldn't. But then I realized if I went in there, I started talking shit. I would go in there. Yeah, I remember specifically one post I made, and it gained a lot of traction. I had probably over 100 comments on it. I said, "There's 143,000 of you fuckers in here, and you all suck at Mario Kart 64." And then boom, that just lit a fire under people's asses. There was, "I'll take you, I'll play you, blah blah blah," and everyone's spitting out their friend code. I'm taking them all in. I'm loving it. I'm talking shit to the people who are talking shit to me. And in one of the posts, Vina Monterey from Mexico, he on there, he said, "Hey," he's like, "I'll play you. I'm pretty good, you know." I can't remember his exact words. I said, "All right, cool." So I get on there and I play Vina, and he was the first person ever that humbled me, that showed me there's people out there that's better than me, and it definitely made me go, "Wow, holy crap!" And Vina, I was good enough in his eyes that so he was personally sending me messages. Now he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You're really good. Like here, like we have this whole community," and that's when I learned about Kylera. And I had no idea Kylera had existed. That these guys were playing online for damn near a decade, playing Mario Kart 64, which was another shock to the system of a feeling of missing out and like, holy hell, how did I not know about this? And so it just got to a point where I was like, I need to build this community. This is because this whole not having a hub, not having a lobby. I need to figure out how to get the best players because I know I'm good enough to have the credit, right? Like the validation to the other good people. So again, I would keep going on there talking shit, and I would drop the Discord link, drop the Discord link, drop the Discord link, and then I found the Mario Kart 64 players page and all that, and then I did a tactic, and this is where I ended up reaching you. I looked for people in every state. I started out with Oregon because that's where I'm from, and I looked for the top players, about maybe like the top 10 players in each state, and I only picked the ones with unique enough names that I can like find on Facebook, because I'm not going to go look up, freaking Davey Smith, like David Smith.
Yeah.
How many of those in the world? Like that ain't going to be a thing. So I found these people with unique enough names, and I would send them a message on Facebook. Hey, if you're the Kevin Booth, I had a preloaded message. It was a copy and paste.
Yeah.
I would just exchange the name. Hey, if you're the Kevin Booth from the Mario Kart 64, I don't know if you heard, but Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack, we can play Mario Kart 64 online now. And here's the Discord if you want to join us. I'm trying to gather, all the best players in the world. Let's make it a thing. Kind of, I forget what the message said. I'm sure I can probably find it if we go back into our history and look at the chat.
Oh yeah, it's there, and I do remember it. And yeah, it was like, I mean, other than really Denny, you're the only other person that really put any effort into getting me to play. I know the guys from KART 64 players did try it, and I did warn Denny, I'm like, hey, they're not going to like this because it's going to be like emulator, and there's going to be lag, and they're going to just try it, and then they're going to just drop it. And I was right, they did. They gave up on it like immediately. But see, Denny's a little bit more persistent, and he got me to try it, and then I was like, well, I'm not gonna do it unless I get a controller for it. And he literally went online and paid the premium, paid $80 to get me a controller because he wanted me to play that bad.
Damn. That's nice.
So that's why I was even available. And even, but even at that, yeah, the only people that I ran into previous to you was like, but I did run. Yeah, Vena did find me, so I did play him a few times. I didn't know who it was at the time, but I played them. And then Simon found me too. But that was really about it. Of course, Stinson was around, but yeah, there wasn't many. There wasn't many
Yeah,
previous
it was such
to your
a small
message.
group.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was, and it was just a matter of like trying to just gather people and then getting them to jump in a voice chat to at least learn each other a little bit to become friends, and then they kind of take off on its own. I remember the early days when I would look at, sometimes I would check the Discord and I would see three people in the voice chat and I'd be like, it's working, there it is. And
yeah,
it was such a super cool feeling.
yeah,
Yeah, and I just till this day, I do the same thing. I'll maybe find a diamond in the rough eventually. And I do occasionally. I'll find somebody that, whether they play or not, because a lot of people I find they might play once or twice and they're super good, and then they just don't want to play, and that's fine. But they know where the home is. You know what I mean? So then that's all I can do. And if they want to choose to play, they know where to go.
yeah. You can provide the home, but yeah, you can't make them play. It's kind of one of those things. And as I joke with everybody else, you think it was hard to get people to play versus. Wait till you try to get them to try to play time trials. Oh
Yeah. Oh
man,
man.
because I
I'll
had to
tell you
change my
what.
tactics too for recruiting for the time trial sites. That was the thing where I went through a lot of people, and they all kind of fell into the same old casual category until I found the Nintendo BBS and started in it. And then I ran into some of the other guys that I competed in time trials with. Juan and Rawls and stuff. They were on their Nintendo names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then that was kind of our like moment to grow outside of like the sites. Andy of course messaged me on AOL at the time. That basically shows
Yeah.
my age.
Yep. I remember the good old AOL
Yeah,
Messenger.
yeah. We had straight up AOL. So
Yeah.
he put his website on AOL too. It's really crazy the things that we did back then, and just the fact that the internet was still, for us, kind of in its infancy. Other than
Yeah.
using it at school. Actually, using the internet at home was just still kind of a new thing for us. But yeah, so I mean, trying to remember because it's hard to remember it all. But I think I remember going back in the history of the site, and so it really wasn't too long really before everything kind of got together, because really once you actually started getting people to show up, it just kind of went from there really, really quickly.
Yeah. So are you talking about the server?
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's like, yeah, I got your message, and then yeah, of course, that was pretty exciting time, and then yeah, it wasn't a week more that I get invited to that thing in Seattle. Which is
Oh yeah, that's
crazy.
right. Yeah, I forget the time frame or like the chronological order on things. So if I speak on this stuff, I could be missing like, oh, that happened before that or what. So it's not as
Yeah,
accurate as that goes, but the
it
substance is accurate.
Yeah, no, I always forgot which year it was. For some reason, my brain was like 23, but no, it was 22. It's just, yeah, because this has been going on a while. So yeah, it was just like, it was a week later. And yeah, now, and then just out of the blue, you're like, oh, you want to go to Seattle? Like, yeah, why not? Let's go to Seattle. And so
Hell
I
yeah! And
did.
then we met up with, we took me, Martine. You met up with me in Portland at my father-in-law's house,
Yeah.
and then we went and picked up Martine, and then we drove all the way to Seattle, met Jesse at the venue. And I remember it was so funny because okay, here's a little context too. So on Facebook, me being so damn toxic, that's a soft term. I had seen the Seattle Facebook group, the Seattle Mario Kart 64 Facebook group, and I
Yeah.
had commented on one of their posts one time. I seen them playing in a tournament, and I was like, oh my god, how do I get in on this? And then
Yeah.
the first comment back, and I'm not going to name names, was from a player, and he said, "You have to be vaccinated." And then my response was, "What if I come bubble wrapped?" And then he just immediately banned me from that group. I was banned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's literally the interaction that took place. It's there. It's still on. It can be proven. Whatever. The receipts are there. And so when we were going, I remember getting out of the car, paying our little parking fee, and then me, and Martine are walking, and it was the weird. I mean, this is gonna sound the most geeky thing in the world, but I was like, "Yeah, we're badasses, bro." Like we knew we're like, if we were MMA fighters, like what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're one of the best fighters in the world, but we're Mario Kart players, and we're the best Mario Kart players in the world. I'm sitting there walking, going, "Yeah, we're gonna go in here and clean these cats up," and I can't wait to see these guys who banned me from their group. And I can't wait to look in their face and laugh
Yeah.
and sit next to them, and because I'm a fucking troll. Everybody knows it. So I like to piss people off, stir the pot. Yeah, we all know it. Okay, no big deal.
It was
I'm a
neat to kind
loser.
of have that, and you're kind of telling me who to look out for. And it was like I remember those two guys, and obviously I won't mention their name, but their names they decided to use to identify themselves as an attorney were very
Yeah,
similar for some weird reason. I'm like, what is
yeah,
this?
yeah. I know. I was like, for a second, I was like, are we talking about the same person? Like, what is going on? And I had to like critically think I was
Yeah,
like,
I'm
this is
like,
dumb.
all
But like,
right, these guys are a bunch of fanboys. I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
yeah, it's basically the equivalent of saying, hey, we have a Gumby and then we have a Gumby man.
Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how dumb the names were between
yeah,
two different people.
I just went with my last name because that's what everybody calls me, and then everybody else kind of went by things. Yeah, I just remember like Jesse going by Stacy in there and stuff like that. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I ended up getting a good draw. So like I played all easy people basically until I ran into Jesse.
Yeah, but here's the thing that you did though. You cleaned out all of those guys
I
that were
did.
in the group. Yeah, you wiped out
Yeah.
all of the guys that I wanted to, you took out my people that I wanted to take out. So you got all the fun from me.
I did because I know one of them was a Jesse. But then
Yeah.
Jesse did end up doing good. He actually finished fourth place in that race and did an advance past the round of 16. Yeah, which is my prediction. I was like, hey, I'm always going to predict an upset, just like I did in the summer card thing. I'm like, it's not going to be Wah, Cheech, Kyle, and Zoran. One of those four people are not going to make the final. But if anybody's going to make in their place, it's going to be Climate. And I was right. Climate did make the finals. He got fourth in the finals,
Oh,
but he made it. That's what counts. So it was my same prediction. You remember, I was like, okay, between you, me, Martine, and Jesse, one of those four is not going to make it. Now, I thought it was going to be me because, I mean, I'm just freshly going into something blindly and going to Seattle. And I was like, man, it's gonna suck when one of those guys upsets me and then they start talking shit and I'm gonna have to put up with that crap. So I'm like, man, I ain't having that. So I was ready. I think round of 16, I think one of them were in there, I think I made sure to get a couple of stars going. And Jesse was nice enough to give me a shock dodge to make sure that guy was done, you know. But in
yeah.
the process, he got out, but at least he did us a favor there. And then I think somebody finally got me in a race. The second place was enough to get to the finals. And then I remember it was Yumi Martin, and then it was like that one of those guys.
Yeah, I was one
And
of those guys.
yeah, they didn't get anything for third, so he tried to jump the crack in Sherbet Land really deep, and he missed, and so I was able to get third because of that. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
really cool that you, Martin, and I, we got top three.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, and then
Well,
what I hate about the Seattle tournament, I love everything they do. They usually get 32 people for the bracket, and
yeah,
everything's great up until the finals. They do a 1v1 versus, and they do best out of three. I think it's the dumbest format. Everybody knows the 1v1 versus is got to be the worst mode
Yeah,
in the game.
it's garbage on a stick. It really is.
Yeah. And then I ended up winning that one, cooking my brother, no big deal. And and again, that can go anyway. I mean, at this point, my son Wilder, he's 10 years old now, and he's good. If I played him 1v1, I couldn't even tell you that I'd beat him after all 16 tracks. You know what I mean? Because of how different the item RNG is.
Yep, it's a crap fest. So also, the other fond memory is that was all we did. I mean, we would have done other stuff, but it's cool going back to Jesse's place and playing 4 rounds at his house.
Five.
Five. Was it five? I knew it was quite a few.
Yeah, we played 5 rounds, and I believe, and the reason why I remember it is I'm pretty sure I won 3 of those 5. I think you won 2.
I know I won 2. I do remember that. I was actually pretty surprised of that too. I actually had some really good rounds there.
Yeah, that was such a wonderful day. I mean, on the whole scheme of things, that was still one of the best days of my life. Minus, of course, you can't talk about the family moments, having babies, getting married, all those things.
Well,
but
as
far as like an individual self for myself, without involving like anybody else, that was a damn good day, man. I had such a good time with all you guys, and it was a blast. I felt welcomed in Jesse's home, like nothing weird, everything was cool. You brought your pal system, and that was the first and only time I've ever played on PAL. And it was funny because I hate time trials. If anybody knows me, they fucking know that I hate time trials. I grinded time trials for 6 months, and then I quit. I made the top 300. I think I got like 270 something, and then I quit. I did not want to do it. As a matter of fact, I have updated times right now on many tracks that I won't submit because I don't give 2 shits. But after you spend 40 hours on a track and you've optimized it on NTSC, I played your PAL system literally 1 track. I played Bowser's Castle, and I played it 1 time, and I was less than half a second from my PR. And that just shows you that PAL is way easier to play than NTSC. Anybody listening to this and you're crying about it on the inside or even on the outside, you're wrong. I'm right. Sorry. Suck it up, Buttercup.
I mean, there's no way at this point that they would know any difference. I mean, like I said, you compare the times and the conversion stuff, and it's much easier. Like I said, Luigi Raceway Lab, which is the one I'm the best at, I actually have still a really good time there. There's hardly anybody that's still beat it over like 20 years later. I'm still like in NTSC, I'm still like top 12. And that time is like 23 years old. 23 years old. And it's still top 12 of anybody in the world, so.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, and obviously if you count the tile conversions, it's not even close. But yeah, so 31 would be NTSC, and PAL is so easy you can get like 23 or something like that. So yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's a no-brainer. So then maybe we'll tap on that subject for a second. So again, I like to say things how they are. What I believe to be the truth, and you love me or hate me. The fact is, I'm real, and you're gonna get what you get with me. Period. Like, you're not gonna get no fake bullshit. It's real, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. So I, of course, get on the time trial Discord and speaking my opinion. I'm trying to get a lot of people to play me even there. Like, hey, let's play Mario Kart 64 online. And everybody, like you said, being time trialers, like, oh, fucking Nintendo Switch, lag, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, let's forget about all that. Let's just play. Let's have fun. Nobody's interested in that. And then they start talking shit about, well, you can't beat me anyway. And I'm like, well, okay, then let's play. And I mean, you can go back on it right now. Go look in the multiplayer channel. Type in Gumby.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read through the chats.
Yeah, I've had the guys read it, and it's funny because they just the absurdity of it, they just can't believe it. They just look at that and just kind of get a good chuckle out of it. I'm like, yeah, can you believe that calling Kelp's mom a whale is the thing you got banned for? I just laugh.
It is
Like
pretty freaking ridiculous
it's like
after all that was
yeah,
said.
it's like yep, reputation.
Well, it's funny because like you say one thing in there that everyone probably secretly agrees with, but nobody's a man enough to come out and be confident in who they are and say it as well, or back you up. Instead, they're all about, I want to be accepted, so I gotta disagree with
Yeah,
this premise, even though inwardly I agree with it and I know he's telling the truth, but because everybody else is gonna disagree with it outwardly, so I have to as well. It's like a community, so they'll dogpile the shit out of you. If you say something like, "Oh,
yeah,
hey, PAL sucks compared to NTSC. It's not even the same game. It's cheating. Why does everybody switch from NTSC to PAL? Nobody switches from PAL to NTSC." It's kind of like, I mean, here's another example. For instance, you're talking sports, right? Let's say
yeah,
pickleball. Pickleball. You can have tennis players, like world crazy top tennis players, leave tennis and go play pickleball and immediately become one of the best pickleball players in the world. But you could not take one of the best pickleball players in the world and throw them in tennis and have them even slightly come close to being the top tennis player in the world.
oh yeah,
So,
because I have played both and I know, man. I
so
know
exactly. So,
exactly
so
about
there's
that.
there's a difference. You cannot tell me that there's no difference. If there was no difference, then why are we switching cartridges and TVs and consoles? There's the big
Yeah,
difference, and you have less reaction time. You have more time to think about what you're going to do. All the things. So yeah,
yeah,
you have a huge advantage on PAL. So you mentioned that in that server, at least at the time. I'm pretty sure now we got enough people that have been playing online together that can vouch and actually have a community behind the statements. But yeah, they'll dogpile the shit out of you, start talking shit, and oh well, you're not even, because at the time I wasn't even top 300 yet in time trial. I think I was 400 something. And I remember
yeah.
specifically, I forget who, but somebody says, you couldn't beat me anyway, but you're on 400 time trial. I'm on the top 100. And I said, okay, if I can't beat you, then play me. Like, let's go, you know? And then, of course, nobody would want to play, and everyone
Yeah,
kept talking shit, but nobody would want to put up. And I'm sitting there going,
yeah,
okay, you're talking shit, let's play. Put up or shut up. And then I even said, hey, if you're so good, here's what we do. Stream me live getting my ass beat by you, and when you beat me, I will leave this server. I will walk away. But of course, nobody even took me up on that
nobody did
because,
it.
again,
Yeah,
now they know in their heart they're thinking, crap, man, maybe this guy really is that good, or good enough to
yeah,
beat me.
yeah.
And
They really want a you and Jones GP match. They really want it bad.
they really wanted who?
You and Jones play a GP round. They really want that bad.
Well, tell Jones to pick up a Nintendo Switch. Let's
Yeah,
go. Or where does that guy live?
and it's funny. He lives in Southern California. I've actually visited him. I actually visited him
Oh
in
wow.
2000 going to San Diego. And it was actually a good meeting. It actually was a positive meeting. My best friend Josh Burby, yeah, I call him Burbs. He actually, yeah, it was actually a good meeting for him because, yeah, you know, yeah, because he has some guitars on the wall and stuff like that. And Burbs has that too, and so that was pretty cool. But yeah, yeah, he's in California. It's crazy. Yeah, and well,
Well,
when we do the Oregon Open, he will be invited. Everybody's invited to an Open, so anybody can come, even people that annoy the living crap out of me like Jones. Yeah, I really want you to play Jones. It'd be so funny.
man, I would love to play John. I'm telling you right now, I'll wreck him in GP. I mean, maybe versus he might get me. I don't know, but GP he's going down.
I think you get him. Jones is a little out. I mean, he did okay. I'll say this: he did better than I thought he was going to do. In that, you know how it is with family and stuff. You just don't play as much, and it's hard to stay practiced. You know.
Oh yeah, that's true. And honestly, at this level in the game, um, one person can have their B plus game while somebody else has their A minus game, and that might line up to where they're pretty dead ass even, and we're all good enough to beat each other on any given day. Yeah, there's people that beat each other more often. Like for instance, Martine, my brother, I probably beat him 8 out of 10 times in a versus. But he sneaks the 2 out of 10. He gets it.
Yeah, he usually has
Um,
one or two good rounds there. You just never know when they're gonna come, And
exactly. So we're all
it
good
was
enough to beat
crazy.
each other.
Yeah, it was crazy. We had a 4-player versus in person over at Cheech's. Well, he's no longer living there because he just moved from his parents. But we played where he does practice with the studio. He has a studio there in the garage, kind of separated out, and so that's where we played. And man, yeah, playing him and Wah, Martine and I, that was craziness. That was just crazy.
Oh,
They
dude, that
played
is a
they played so well. And I mean, it sucks. It wasn't a like seriously, Martine and I were getting our ass beat, especially me. I had like one good round, I think, the whole time. But here's the thing. They went to the summer meet and got first and second at the summer KART meet. We're talking against guys that are supposed to be really good.
yeah,
Vernon got
yeah,
third
yeah.
though, but he's really good. He's really good at everything, so that's to be expected. But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, no, that's a nice setup of four of
They
you.
they crushed them, man. They absolutely crushed them.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, Cheech is phenomenal. Every time I play Cheech, it is butthole puckering. Let me tell you, that guy, he puts on the pressure. You have to sit there and almost pray while you're playing to pull out a win on that guy. It's unreal.
yeah. I think I went the first. Yeah, when I did versus just recently with him and Simon, who does free player. Yeah, I think it was like 0 for 11. I think I was third till Mario Race when I finally broke through there. Or no,
I
it
would
was
I would
yeah.
venture to say, like, if I had to analyze it myself from like trying to remove myself and any of my bias, like I would say that Cheech is better than me at versus, and I have the slight advantage on GP over him. I think that's accurate, and I think he might even agree with that.
GP's a different beast. It has a different skill set. There are different people that are good at GP. So it's
It
very
is. It
interesting.
absolutely is.
Yeah, GG's really good at GP, and a few others
Man,
that are really good at it.
yeah, Coolx and Gigi. I call Gigi. So here's the fun fact between Gigi and I, or at least my insight on GP. Gigi is my equal. I don't think there's any two players in the Mario Kart community as close to in skill as there is between Gigi and I. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch Camp Kart 2025 finals and look at the GP finals, and you can even watch the versus finals. Um, Me and Gigi are neck and neck, have always been neck and neck this entire time. I can never shake him. He can never shake me. I call him the GP wizard because I truly believe he is one of the best GP players. Well, I know he is one of the best GP players in the world, but I put him up there with anybody. His craftiness, the way he does things, it's phenomenal. I've learned more in playing GP with Gigi than anybody else. I give him the most credit out of anybody who has helped me get better into where I am at.
Yeah, like I said, I noticed the quickness of cycling the items, making sure to get in second, third place, get the better item, things like that. It's really quick, really quick.
Yeah, that guy, you have to be on your A+ game to beat that guy. If you're not, you're not going to win. It just isn't possible. If you watch that finals, I'm telling you, I've told you before, you ought to watch it. I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. You should probably watch it next chance you get. You will see everything we did was 100% planned between him and I both. It was a chess match trying to get one step ahead of the other guy and the other one catching on. It was unbelievable. I would try to be crafty and sabotage him in a certain way that was that was very subtle, very
Yeah.
under the radar, and he would pick up on it immediately and avoid it. And likewise, he would do the same thing to me, and I barely would avoid his disaster. He would still get me, but it wouldn't be as bad. Like, we're coming around the corner on Bowser's Castle on the last track, and he was right behind me, and he deployed 3 reds, or I think he was right in front of me, and he deployed 3 reds, and he slowed down so I'd hit him.
Yeah.
And I slowed down too and I didn't not slow down as brake. Like, you didn't hear no screeching. It was just let off the gas. I mean, like the split second between each other, and I barely saved myself from going into the lava. Had I stayed on the gas, I guarantee I would have flew over, and I knew that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, that would cost you 9 points. So.
Yep.
Those sort of things you got to do in a one-on-one match. But
yeah, and then we going back to the the Discord server, I would be remiss if I didn't mention your contribution to my server, to the online Mario Kart 64 Nintendo Switch online server, because you spent so much time hanging out with the new people, building them up, teaching them the ropes, getting in the voice chat, chatting with them, doing everything we needed to get their feet under them. And I can probably sit here and try to rack my brain with particular people and certain who's I don't remember, but I know they're still active and they're good to this day. Yeah, you contributed a huge amount to our success in the server and our online scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I did. Martin was a pretty good guy to team up with on those sort of things, because he would get people to actually play. He would get people to join the rooms, and he was very persistent.
Martin's good, man, because he's a fucking addict. Is why he's fucking. I mean, I think between you and Martin, there's more hours of Mario Kart 64 online than any 20 of the next people,
Yeah, pretty easily, because, man, there's really nobody else that can match the amount of volume that would be played. I could count on him, I could count on Simon. Then it was always just about getting the 4th person going, and that was always the challenge.
Right.
Once that was solved, the one I never could get frequently is to get two games going at once. It happened for a very brief time, I think, with N64 and a few other people, but that was about it.
we were doing it quite a few times. I remember there being we had to separate voice chats and everything because we had 2 different sets of games going on. It wasn't often, but it was more. I would say it's definitely rare. It was definitely rare, but it happened more often than you would have probably thought. But it was still rare.
Yeah, still rare. Yeah, I tried a lot of different places, like having mini tournaments and things like that. And I mean, there were always temporary things that kind of worked, but it just never permanently worked.
Yeah.
Because in the end, there were some inherent problems with doing verses, with not playing in person, communication, things like that. Talk about some of the challenges, because there is a lot of challenges in keeping this going and trying to grow it, things like that. And I think that's something to cover right now. That would be really good.
So, one of the biggest challenge, I would say, is trying to keep things running smooth, because there's always nothing's perfect, right? Ever. And people will try to expose the rules or play a certain way that is unfavorable for others, and even if it's legal, it's still frowned upon in the community. Also, it's okay, so how do you
how do you
balance that?
Yeah. How do you keep it fun, but also have something for everybody, the ones that are competitive and the ones that are maybe not as much. How do you make it to
Right,
where like
right,
both will want to keep playing?
right. And people will, and as a leader of a community, you are tasked with this chore that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it sucks. It's not fun.
Yeah,
So people will go, there's a lot of arguments between the community members, and clearly I've been there. I'm one of the arguments of the community members, so I'm not only being a leader, but I am also a foot soldier in this. So I know, what it's like. And yes, there's good points on both sides, but how do you? So then, what I typically do is, okay, hey, you pointed out a problem. What's your solution? Oh, you got none? Okay, so now we're gonna default to, we need to play it this way because, and here's why. And now, if you can explain why we should play your way with more reason, then we can give that some consideration, and then we can bring it to the drawing board again with the admin team, and then we can try to maybe make a rule adjustment or something. But of course, there's been plenty of times people will expose something and, oh, it's not a good, and then it's like, okay, well, we're trying to create an environment that people want to play without feeling like it's a chore or they're targeted or it's not fun. I mean, I guess I can give an example like shock dodges, right? Like you're sitting there and you're handing out shock dodges because you don't want you're making sure the other guy that
yeah,
you feel like might be your competition is the only one getting shocked, or he's definitely not ever going to get a shock dodge and other people will. So the way I try to explain it and even put it into a rule is, you are trying to advance your own position. You're not trying to take away somebody else. You're trying to win the race every time. Like a versus, but see, a GP mindset is different than a versus mindset. A versus
yeah, 'cause-
mindset is,
yeah.
to keep it
You're
running smooth. You got to win. You got to win the track. You got to win the race. You're not trying to make somebody lose. You are trying to win. If you keep that mindset and you keep that gameplay, it's fair and wonderful. Trying to make somebody lose on a versus can be seen as targeting, because now there's two other players. There's you, the two other players, and then the person you're trying to make lose. And that's kind of fucked up and shitty and can be viewed as dirty. But in GP, guess what? That's the whole fucking goal. You want to sabotage that person. You want to play dirty as shit. You want to create that point gap. If you can knock them off the bridge, send them on their way, and you can still advance your own position as well, that's how you play. Because now you're getting a first place, hopefully 9 points, and they're getting zero, or at best, like, third or fourth, and then you're creating that point gap as opposed to the first and second. Because if you're then sabotaging them, and then now you're hitting the retry, or you're getting 1 point and they're getting zero, I mean, you really kind of screwed yourself on that one. Like, you could have just not played like that and ended up with a 3 point difference instead of a 1 point difference. Like, so it's nice to have I would call it a philosophy for different gameplays. Versus, you try to win the race. GP, you try to sabotage them and win the race.
Yeah, since the one-on-one thing, free for alls can be really complicated. Really, really complicated depending on the situation. There's a lot of different, and I mean, even the best people are messing up the scenarios. I mean, in the finals, Cheech ended up shocking Zoran, which ended up actually hurting him, not helping him. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's a final round where it happens. So it's always very difficult to decide what to do on the fly when everything's on the line. It's very difficult.
Yeah, especially, I mean, the other problem is, like, yeah, things are going to happen that go against everything I just said, but
Yeah,
we're talking about the moments in time where it's intent. The intent is
yeah,
to be ill here. We're not talking about, hey, you made a boo boo, you're clicking fast, you're trying to spam your shit, you want to hurry up and get
yeah,
your items so you can have a chance at shocking them before this and that, or whatever. Like
Yeah.
those things are going to happen. You're going to give shock dodges on accident. It's going to happen. You're going to
Yeah.
accidentally
Somebody
send your
pops a
blue
ghost.
shell into the wall. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're going to do these
Yeah. Somebody
things.
panics. Yeah. Somebody sees a ghost and panics. Lots of different things happen.
Exactly. So yeah, I would say that that's one of the biggest challenges is trying to keep the peace and keep everybody playing. Because well, and here's the other problem I ran into. Again, I won't name names. It's within my server. If you're listening, you know who
Yeah.
you are. Or there's multiple people. It's not just one individual. It's been numerous times throughout the years, but you'll get people that will complain about. Well, that's why I don't like playing with rules. Okay, so I have exposed that idea. So let's. Okay, you're right. Let's play with no rules. So we play with no rules. Well, guess what happens? Well, we're talking
Yeah.
about no
They end up.
no
They
rules as
end up.
in like we're still gonna play
Yeah.
non-shortcut. We're not gonna just go do shortcuts. But
Yeah.
I played with no rules, and let's just say it's the last round they play for a while. Let me tell you, it's funny how that works. Whenever they make the claim, rules suck, these rules are stupid, we should play with no rules. Cool, let's do it. And then I promise you, they won't play for like a month because they're sitting there. They just had the worst experience ever. I still won,
Yeah.
completely annihilated them because I know how to expose the no rules. I know how to completely sabotage you and advance myself at the same time. And I targeted you and I played with no rules and that's what you wanted. And here's what happened. And now it was no fun for you. This is why we have rules because now you feel even worse. Now it's not even fun at all. Now you're going to not play for a month. That's why we have rules.
So yeah, and always my counter to it is there are always worse things to happen. But yes, for those that ask for that, and then yeah, if they get victimized by it, and then feel differently, that when somebody's like obviously going to kind of contradict themselves, then that is a different thing.
Yes.
For me, it's more of a would you rather kind of situation, and you can understand on a would you rather situation where somebody could come to two different conclusions because you do have to pick one or the other at that point.
Yeah, and I'm open, and we have a
Because I've been screwed by both. Like there was a situation I remember playing you, Jesse, and I can't, and probably Martin around, and I remember getting to Mario Stadium and literally there were like 4 straight stars. So like I literally couldn't use my bolt because
that sucks.
there's either a star going or there was somebody over the gap. And then finally, I think Jesse K at the end of all that, a half lap later, gets a ghost and steals my bolt.
Yep, that's happened to me so many fucking times. I hate that.
Yeah. So that's an example why I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, so there, exactly. Those are the moments. It's like, how much do you want to risk? I think we did it. We just played around recently. You, me, Martine, and Fuzz, and I remember it was on Mario Raceway where I was leading the pack, and you had a bolt in your pocket, and you used it right as I got my ghost, and I was. Yep, and I watched your stream, and you said in the stream you were like, and that's why I knew it was coming. That's why I used it, and I have those feelings too, where I know I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, if I don't use this fucking thing, somebody's gonna steal it. And then sure shit, it's always Martine too. Martine will get a ghost. They always steal my shit. So, and then there's been plenty of times where I was in the exact same boat as you, where I used it right before Martine would get a ghost, and he's stuck little now with a ghost, and I'm like, yeah, you fucker, I got you.
Yeah, we know it's gonna happen there.
So sometimes, that's gonna, you can't be expected to hold, a damn bolt through 3 stars, through 2 stars. I mean, hell, if you waited for 1 and a second star comes up, who cares? Somebody deserves a shock dodge. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah,
you gave it the good old 1-2 whirl. You were like, "Hey, let me wait till the star goes out." Oh wait, they got another star. Fuck it, I gotta let it go.
Yeah, you just get too far behind after a while.
I always love being able, and I've only done it a few times, being able to hit that bolt right between the two stars and get them shocked.
Yeah, there's a little window there, but it's very rare that you can exploit it.
Yeah.
Usually you can't, unfortunately. So yeah, what I basically had to resort to do, because I know the good guys will just spam their items if you don't use it. So then you just wait to see when they're over the items, and then you make sure to use it at that point, at the very least.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to make those decisions in the flash and things like that. And then yeah, we did do the no rules, and then freaking good old Fuzzy just was like, nope, he wasn't interested. But everybody had to go anyway, so I guess it really didn't matter. But still, would have been
Oh
good
no,
to see
you
how
talking
that
about the other day?
Yeah, it would have been good to see
Yeah.
how that one would have turned out. You know.
Dude, it was such a close match. That's what it
I
just it took
know.
all the wind. It takes the wind out of my sails, dude. Seeing somebody just completely cheat, absolutely just. It's like, all right, dude. We were literally almost done with this. We had four
Yeah.
tracks to go, and you cheated. Like, why? What is the fucking point of that? You just wasted all of our time, and now it affects all the RNG. So it's again like, yeah, I know we could have finished and adjusted scores, but it still could have. It was so close that 1 point makes a difference, and we don't know how it could have swung. It could have swung
Yeah,
anyway.
and it was on lap 3. You could have caught up. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it was annoying. I hate that. But yeah, we're gonna have issues like that. It's never gonna
Yeah.
end. There's always gonna be somebody like we would have people come in the lobby, play, and then all of a sudden go to the home menu forever and just like keep you locked
Oh
out of the
yeah.
game. And
Yeah.
I get somebody that does that
I
once.
had yeah, I had to ban a lot of people that did that, because then you're just kind of held hostage to the
Yeah,
situation.
exactly. Anybody that would do that, I'd ban them. Anybody with the worst internet in the world, I kick them. Like they're not my friend. I can't play with this. It's gonna take an hour and 10 minutes to finish a round. Bullshit. I can't do that.
Yeah, so I'm working on the in-car setup to try, because unfortunately I do live in the woods now, and freaking home internet, and freaking cables like throttling shit. It's just bad. And like I said, as you know, when you share the house with other people, you can't have an exclusive connection, can't have full control over what's going on. So trying to do the
Yeah.
in-car setup eventually and get that mastered. I at least got it to where theoretically it works. I just have to work on a couple more things to make it nice.
Yeah. Well, you got any more questions for me? Because it's 4 a.m. here.
Yep, I think I'll wrap up with just a couple more. Somebody did ask about the rules that the U and Vena do. Did you learn it from Vena, or was it something you actually did before doing the server? Like when you and Martine would play on your own, did you have like a gentleman's rule not to do it?
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah,
the ramp shot?
Yeah, so I'm curious if whether you did that independently or it made sense because that's how Vena set up his like server.
No, it had nothing to do with Vena. Because he does it completely different than me too. I think he like
Yeah.
you can't even do it when you're on the ramp at all.
Yeah, and
Our rule is the bolt just can't cause you to fall. I did it because Martine and I would always play the gentleman's way, because again, like in my argument with it, I've told you 1,000 times, we've had this freaking argument.
Yeah.
And, people agree and disagree, and we have our opinions, and both are right. It is hard. Like, I don't like rules that are super hard to police, and this is like one of those that are borderline. Like, it is riding that fucking line, and so I get why people don't like it. But the reason was, like, I'm a pure man of competition. I like it to be as close as it gets within reason. Obviously, you're not going to let somebody win or give them an advantage, or but it's you could sit back and spam a bolt and then just fucking wait for that moment. And if you're good, you can dodge it. But I mean, all of us can fake out a rookie, but we're not going to fake each other out anymore. Like, we know how to drop it. 9 times out of 10, we're going to send you in that gap. and then it's like a guaranteed, you know, loss for you. Like you ain't coming back from that, especially if you're on lap 3. If you're on lap 1, you can come back. If you're on lap 2, good luck. Most likely you ain't coming back. Lap 3, you're done. It's game over.
Yeah,
I
there's a
would,
controller put down situation at that point.
yeah, and it's, I don't know. To me, it's just like, okay, yeah, well, you got a bullet, and it's kind of like knowing it's that same feeling of like, oh, we're doing Rainbow Road last, and we already know who's in what place, and there's no difference of who's gonna win. It's like, what's the fucking point of doing this? You know what? What's the point of me driving up this ramp right now? You know, like we all know the outcome. This is stupid. Like it takes the entertainment out of it. It ends it. That's my opinion of it. Obviously, I do like playing that way sometimes because it depends on which way you think about it, because then it adds entertainment if you're like, yeah, I get to fuck somebody over, right? Like I get a fucking,
Yep.
who wants to be the guy who runs over that shit first? You guys all gonna hit your brakes and then wait for me to catch up, and then I get all of you? Or like who's gonna be the one that wants to fall? Like who's gonna claim second place by just waiting? You know what I mean? And letting
There's
the
a
other guy
compromise.
go. Somebody's gotta go.
Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 things there's about 3 or 4 ways I handle it, and I change it each time. There's a couple different things to do. There's a way to take somebody out and get over. There's harboring reds for the bolt, and just line up with a bunch of reds and take turns with the bolt.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Another thing is you can park at the items and get a ghost, steal it. So, and there's the tumble cancel. You fake like you're gonna try to go over the thing, and then you run into the side and get a tumble cancel. And I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta watch 3 people at once too. So 3 people can do 3 different things, and that's a tough thing to watch while trying to catch up and stuff. So there are countermeasures, and luckily everything except for DK you can do something about it. There's actually some worse places involving corners that are worse at times. Man, DK Jungle, actually it's even worse to just get somebody like just before the fucking last bridge or other places, or going across the hairpin after the item set. You can get launched, and instead of getting smashed
to the water,
you can you can go to the water, you can get smashed, and you're getting hit with nuts, and then somebody's coming by to add a red shell or 3 to you, and there's some dirty stuff that can happen.
Man, that's so true. It's like a bolt is like an easier, perfectly placed banana.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like a banana that shocks you. It's electrocuted.
Yeah.
Electrocuted banana.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, five bananas, especially when multiple people get 5 bananas and put it on Banshee, put it in a few other bad places, it's like, especially with a little bit of lag, the race is just, oh my god, your race could just be ended.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess the last thing before you go, and I only have 1 lap on Rainbow Road left in this, because I've done 50cc the whole time and won every race. So I just figured that's what I was going to do when I was talking to you. So the last thing, and you'll have 2 minutes, completely on your own. But this is kind of the last one I want to do, and it's just mainly kind of like a uniting situation. As you know, I texted you personally and just kind of decided that I just want to get past things, and so I've decided to do that. And Dip was kind of asking about that too, like, well, it kind of take time, but I think we've kind of decided independently that that's what we're going to do with you and I. But others, we have not made it there yet. Are you willing to make it to where, like, some of the better players that are still kind of, not getting along with you all that well, is there something you want to do to kind of reunite and, like, all of us together again? Or is that something you'd be interested in? If so, to what lengths are you willing to do it? And then you got the floor here for the last minute and a half, and then we'll get going.
Well, I mean, that's a lot to unpack. I mean, obviously, I like an individual, not a broad stroke like that. Like you and I, we had, I would say, the biggest problem, feud, I would call it, and put all that shit behind, and I 100% clearly, I mean, I'm sitting here talking with you. That's all in the past to me. I don't hold no grudges. I don't care. I'm over it. I'm sorry for things I've said and done, and I know you are as well. Um, because again, we wouldn't be here having this. It was a lot of it was childish. A lot of it is you got barking noises in the background, right? Like you got your leader of your community, your leader of the community in general. I mean, I'll never discount what you've done for this community. You've been in it since the beginning. You were the essentially. I've always coined you as the godfather of Mario Kart 64. Is how I would say it. Kind of like how Gigi's the GP wizard. You're the guy. You were that guy, and so I you know I clear up my stuff with you. Anybody else that I may have an issue with, it's probably potatoes to me again, because if you and I can clear it up, I'm pretty sure everyone else can get cleared up as well. There is one particular person in the community that I've tried, I've done things, I've extended, the olive branch and got shit on for it, and I'm not interested in having a good or bad relationship. I just want to be non-existent and neutral. Like I don't care to be friendly, or I don't want to be enemies either. I don't want to sit there and fucking hate on people, but I also am not going to be your friend. Like, I mean, most people don't like me. Let's be frank, and that's fine, and I'm okay with that. And hell, there's a lot of people on my server who don't like me, but I'm not a fucking dictator, and they can be in my server and they can have fun and enjoy, and there's that. But I mean, without more detail, I can't really answer that question other than saying individually, you and I, we're good as far as I'm concerned. Everybody else, that's up to me and them, and it depends on, is somebody asking, is somebody inquiring about this, because I don't know what you're really referring to.
It would actually just be me. I just figured since we've gotten past things that anybody else, if they would like to as well come to you about something, is that something you'd be okay with? Or
absolutely, yeah.
All right. So there it is. If somebody wants to, do that, you got your answer there, but you've also got your answer the other way too. So, I mean, it goes both ways. I figure, and for me, I guess I just figure after everything that I've been through and nearly dying, I figure really there's more important things than a feud over the kart world. So I've kind of given it to people to do what they're gonna do with it, and I can only really just give advice or help out people, and that's kind of how I've treated it. And it's made things a lot more pleasant for me, just approaching from that angle and giving it to other people and just giving advice on what I've been through and the mistakes that I've made, and that's really all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? It's cool that our disagreements and everything, all these people can argue, myself included, with everybody, and have these little feuds. But the fact is, like, we all love this game so much. We all love this community so much.
Yeah, that's the big picture.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, that's the most important thing. And I know my admin team particularly they probably would love to know that this, and they do know, they know this beef is squashed, and at least they assume it is. And I've even made a public comment about it in my server, because I believe Maddie mentioned it one day. She said, "Oh, I saw you in Booth's server," and then I made like a nutshell kind of comment, like, "Yeah, hey, I reached out to Booth at one point in time, and we talked, and ever since we talked, like, we've been good. We've been kind of civil with each other," I think is the word I used.
It's wanting us to get along, and everybody else has too. So
I mean, I'm not going to put too much out there. Stop me if I do, but there'd be, I'd watch your stream here and there, and I got concerned, and I'd reach out to you, and I think there was a miscommunication when I was reaching out, or I made a YouTube comment, and you thought I was talking shit, and I wasn't. I was literally trying to like give you advice, at least because you had me concerned for you. I'll be honest, you had me concerned. You had Dip concerned, so it was.
Well, there's a good reason for that because there was obviously something I was going for, and I put everything into it. I mean everything, and well, you saw the results, and then obviously we texted because of that, and I told you like, this nearly killed me. So that's why I'm giving it to others right now and helping them, so that they don't have to, almost die over the game. So that's what I'm doing. I'm helping others. I'm giving it to others, and I'm helping others out to lead this charge on and to lead the vision, and it's working. We're getting meets. People are showing up. I think it's finally happening, and I think if we look at the positive and we try to help out with what we can do, I think that's going to be what finally gets it to where we wanted it to get to.
Yeah, for sure, because we did have a vision together, and I still believe that's obtainable. Now, is it on the forefront of my goals? Absolutely not right now. But is it something that I still hope happens? Yeah, absolutely.
It's not going to be because of us, but I'm hoping it's going to happen regardless.
A village.
Yeah, it's going to take a village. It's going to take a village to get this done, but I think we got the right village finally now.
Yeah, and personally, like I always told people, because I was never able to, got emotionally to a point where, I was always able to say, that day, we all went to Seattle. It was one of the best days, even though you and I were beefing. I still was able to say that. I still like truth, and that's one thing I respect about you is you like history. You like the way things are. Hey, don't mess with it. Don't tweak it. Leave it alone. That's part of the, just for the simple things. Even like comments in your Discord. When somebody starts adminning your Discord and deleting conversations and comments, that pisses you off because you're like, hey, where the fuck did that go? And I agree with you. I think it needs to be there. All the good and bad, it needs to stay. You know what I mean?
Because we need to address it. It's kind of like, after this comment, I'm going to get going. It's kind of like the Burbank thing. It's a horrible thing, but guess what? We actually need to address it because it's actually really important.
Absolutely.
You being a parent, me being a parent, we actually need to talk about this, and we actually need to look out for people. And we're going to have events. And so the safety of our participants, no matter who they are, is going to be extremely important ongoing. This has just made us aware of a vulnerability that we need to cover. But at the same time, as Denny and I agree, I mean, think about if Denny did not come over for the St. Louis thing, because he was 11 at the time. Think about if he didn't make it, how much that would change history. I wouldn't have came back to KART. You would have never known me. I mean, you would have messaged me, but I would have had no interest in playing.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. We gotta make sure everybody's safe, but we can't exclude people because you might be excluding the next world champion. They may not play because you didn't let them show up. So how do you do both? Exactly. How do you accomplish both goals? Stay safe, but also not exclude people. That's gonna be what I'm gonna leave everybody in the audience to figure out in the comments, and that'll be that.
Well, real quick before you end it, hold on.
Right.
There's one more thing I got to add because it's my interview. I did not talk about my event, Camp KART.
All right. Tell everybody the information on Camp KART because it's going to be one of many events still left.
Well, I'll tell you how it originated. This was 3 years ago. This Camp KART 3 is going to happen in a month from now. And so it was 3 years ago. I was at work one night and, longing for an in-person meet. And I just thought to myself, like, why not have one here in Missouri? Because I know it's centrally located, so it's easy for, well, not easy, I wouldn't say, but it's the
The
most
states are
central
smaller.
place. Yeah. Yeah, everybody can get to it the same distance from everywhere. If they're on the farthest part, it's still the same for everybody. Not somebody has to travel 3,000 miles while the other people travel 400. You know, it's like everybody's traveling like 1,500 miles. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but so I thought about it,
2,100 for
and
me, but I made the trip. When you have two, 2,100 for us from Oregon to Missouri.
damn, yeah, you're right, because I remember it was actually yeah, you're right, absolutely. Um, so it was, I was at work. It was a night shift. I was working night shift at the time, and I was like, man, how can I get everybody? Like, what kind of event can I do? Like, and also keep it. I want it family friendly. Like, I want people to feel like, hey, I can bring my kids with me, or bring my wife, and have it not be weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
have it be inclusive. So I asked a buddy of mine who owns 10 acres of property. He's a huge video gamer. Like, he is one of the biggest video game collectors I've ever seen. He owns every single N64 game. He has all the N64s that pretty much ever came out. I mean, I'm sure he's missing a couple here and there, but he's got all the Fantastics and everything like that. And he's got every Nintendo game, and he's got thousands of games everywhere all over his basement, and it's pretty damn cool. So this guy's cool. His wife is super wonderful and amazing. And so I asked him, I said, hey, what do you think about hosting, a video game weekend Mario Kart 64 event on your property? And I had already thought of the name and everything. I was like, we can just get everybody out there in tents, and we can set up gazebos and get some tables and run extension cords and set up TVs, and let's get this thing rolling. And he was like, hell yeah. And his wife immediately agreed. And, and I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool. Like, it wasn't even an issue with them. And, yeah, name it Camp Kart, because we're camping out playing Mario Kart. So just Camp Kart, it just made sense. So that's how that came about. But I think it was at that time where I think there was like only one meet going on, and we needed more. And now we, like you said, we got like what, four actual main meets going on in the world right now, or five.
And
I don't know.
And we're working on five. We're working on getting the Oregon thing going. Cheech is definitely wanting to get Oregon going, and I'm definitely going to help him out however I can.
Yeah, I would say Camp Kart doesn't have, I wouldn't say a large quantity of people, but we have a high quality of people. Like, we have,
yeah, that's the key.
That's the key. We have at least 8 people who easily could show up and be a top 4 in any meet anywhere. So, you're talking, you got me, Jesse, Gigi, Martine, Catalyst, N64, who else? Oh yeah, Cool X, Felix, FX64.
Yeah.
So there's 8 right there. And now Dip is getting so much better. He's an honorable mention. Obviously, Yo-Yo Yoshi's always in the mix there. Yeah. Mr. Pitt is always good too. He's going to be there. It's like we have amazing players, and they're only getting better. And it's just, yeah, it's high quality Mario Kart 64. Everything you want to see. So, yeah, we don't have 20 people, 30 people, and by golly, if we did, they all better be good, because I don't want to put in all that work for a bunch of. Well, I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, Camp Kart 3 coming off
out there. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot, and it would be nice to get more. I don't really care. I think everybody, maybe it is a difference of, hey, we got people, having meets too close together. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I don't care. Being camping out, I kind of can't change what I'm doing, especially when I'm at the whim of my friend who's hosting it on his property, and he wants to have it at the end of summer every year. There's nothing I can do about that. That's his call, not mine. I can pretty much pick, is it going to be the last week of August or the first week of September? Because we don't want to run into shitty weather, but we also we need to have it where we can be outside. So that's why that's a thing. And maybe we get them separated, maybe we don't. But I think people are kind of set on what meets they want to go to and what their clique is. And obviously, my meet is full of my people from my server. So if you're not in my server, there's a good chance you probably won't want to come to my meet anyway for whatever reason. I don't think I've had anybody show up to Camp KART that's not a part of my server already.
Yeah, they would not know about it otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, they would. Yeah, I mean, they would. I posted all over online. I mean, any random person can, but they would, again, yeah, to get more information about it, I guess you're right. They would have to join my server to then know the information. But yeah, because we don't have like our own Discord server specifically for Camp KART, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for you, brother.
All right, man. You have a good night, and we'll get this posted. Have a good one.
All right. I appreciate it, Booth. Take care, brother.
Pat.